is not currently present on the earth like it should. Nurturing and the caring and loving that the female aspect of our society has is something that should be cherished, respected, and much loved. It is the reason and the very nature of the female aspect is the reason why we have a Mother Earth, and the Mother Earth sees that, or grounded to that, and the very aspect of nature is connected to nurturing, caring, sharing, and being community, not only just with human beings, but with all aspects of Earth, being the plants, the minerals, the very essence of nature is spirit, and that's something missing right now, on the Earth. And the male aspect is equally important, but it must be in balance. And we've gone through an evolutionary change of realizing, probably now, that war is not an answer, conflict is not an answer, fear is not an answer, but love, forgiveness, compassion, and understanding is the only way we're going to ever solve Earth's problems. And this is why we have to come to this realization and put down our swords, recognize our true faults, and be responsible for them before we can move forward. So this is why we should end corruption. This is why we should not be building weapons of destruction, because they only propagate and perpetuate, continue destruction. And as long as we're in a fear-based mode in this world, with an ego, we're never going to move forward, and we're going to repeat history over and over again, because what we fear comes towards us, and what we love comes towards us. So the only path, a smooth path for all of us, is to be aware that what's more important than materialism, control, and greed is what we do with the true intentions of our heart. And without that, we're never going to move forward. We're never going to solve our problems. We'll be in conflict with nature, and nature will take care of us in one way or another. And so the female aspect has to come back to the earth with love and compassion. And without that, we have all the solutions already here to do that. So it's just a question of whether or not we're willing to be courageous enough, brave enough, and have that much faith and love in ourselves so that we can do it to others as well.
What is a message to other men that you feel inspired to share concerning this topic?
I feel that a lot of men regard women as objects of control and objects of this is my property, and that is totally disrespectful to the essence of what the female aspect is. The female aspect, in its own right, is the divine source of the Creator, and it deserves the same equal attention, care, and understanding that we males do for ourselves. So without that, this whole tribal primitive concept of this is my female, or I own her, or she's my property, or this is my territory, is fast becoming a real problem for our consciousness. And without moving forward beyond that, we're never going to solve our true real problems with relationships between the male and female aspect on the planet.
To have that harmony and the balance.
It has to be in harmony.
Yeah.
Right?
Zach, would you mind sharing any sort of thoughts you have on that topic?
Oh, I think that's beautiful, man.
Okay.
Thank you, Bruce.
Welcome.
Thank you, Bruce.
Thank you.
And the polarity of the expressions of consciousness. that it's important to talk about how male and female gender in our, as a human is not the totality. I'm sure a lot of people know that. It's concept that's been stated as a non-aggression, and on the feminine side, and a defense, self-defense and defense of others on the masculine side. And there's predators out there that can't effectively be won over with compassion before their destruction leads to annihilation. And so we need to have the sacred masculine, but it must be tempered and in balance with the sacred feminine, tempered by and in balance with the sacred feminine. And right now, as a world, the imbalanced expression is an imbalanced masculine. And as you were saying, we need that feminine balance to come in and balance all of that out. We must also be aware of the imbalance of the feminine. As the imbalance of the masculine is taking rights away from others through violence and violating their rights, oppression, and slavery, the imbalance of the feminine is willfully allowing that to happen because of a lack of compassion for oneself and love for oneself and others, and willfully being a slave, willfully being oppressed, and allowing others to be murdered. So I guess the thing I would add to the conversation would be, let's journey forward to rise up the suppressed sacred feminine while holding strong and bringing in union the sacred masculine and the warrior spirit of using minimum force necessary and maximum compassion to defend ourselves and others from violence, and be community about it, be organized about it, be
50-50, not 100%
yeah,
female, feminine, or 100% masculine,
our
but
feet on the ground,
at
and
harmony. Yeah,
our head in the stars,
right.
ready for defense against predators, while simultaneously rising ourselves up and contagiously rising others up, so there's less and less predators. But in the beginning of this transition, there's going to be lots of predators.
Sometimes people are predators unintentionally because they're
Not aware.
not aware.
Not
Yes,
They
right.
know everybody has a dark aspect to them, okay? We have to recognize that in this duality there's a dark forces and there's light forces within each of us. We're all capable of doing amazingly beautiful things. At the same time, when we are pushed to a certain aspect of, situations or conflicts, we can do amazingly dark things. And we have to recognize before those things come into play what is happening internally within us, so we are masters of ourselves. And in order to be masters of ourselves, we must be aware of what we are capable of doing, be it good and bad. So I think it's a conscious effort we have to take before we make a decision on anything, that we are doing things with good intention of the heart and not with the mind or the ego. If we want to move forward and bring the feminine aspect to its full potential, so it's equal with man, the man must respect the woman, and that aspect of the ego mind must be suppressed so that we do only things that are intentional of the heart, because that is the heart source of the Creator.
Mhm. Thank you, guys. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
We're signing off now.
I'm in this.
All right.
Man.